Domestic violence in Nigeria is a problem as in many African countries, and there's a deep cultural belief in Nigeria that it's socially acceptable to hit a woman or to discipline a spouse. Domestic violence is widespread and shows no sign of stopping any soon. And domestic violence takes many forms, including physical, sexual, mental, on and on and on. And my name is Kaliobi, and I welcome you guys to today's discussion on People's Voice. And I'm not alone in the studio. I have on my left, he's a flight attendant, he's a model, and he's tall, he's handsome. Please just tell them your name.
My name is Elvis Lipa.
If it's the Igbo way of pronouncing fashion designer, we'll call him Obioma. I'm not trying.
It's fine. I understand. I get that a lot. I'm happy to be here with you today. It's quite an honor. I'm Favor Ofani by name.
She is a fashion designer. So I have to
Thank you.
I have to introduce you. You know, it's very,
Don't
very
worry, I'm more comfortable with Obioma. So
Okay.
you don't expect much.
So before we go on a very, very strong discussion for today's topic, let's go on a break. We're still here on People's Voice. You go enter market, just make you go buy fresh palm fruits. When you reach house, you go wash, you go pound, your body go dey pain you, even your fingernails go dey pain you. But make una no worry, make una relax. I get good news for una. Una don hear of Banga fresh palm fruit extract. All you need to do na make you go for the open am. Take the amount wey you want, put am for your pot. Which soup you wan make? Shey na egusi, shey na ogbono, shey na vegetable, shey na banga. My sister no waste time again. My brother no waste time again. Just go buy Banga fresh palm fruit extract. They go know say you sabi cook and you be better cook.
Banga, come make your food yummy yum.
Distributors needed nationwide. Phone number 081 63974447, 08035644436, 07066638213. Banga fresh palm fruit extract.
Welcome back to People's Voice, and I still remain Kaliobi, and I have two of my guests with me, Elvis Emmanuel and Favor Ofani. And today, like I said earlier on, we are discussing, we're fighting, and we're going to put our mind and our thoughts on the topic for today called domestic violence. So I want to ask, what do you understand by the word domestic violence?
I see domestic violence as a home-based violence. Could be aggressive, it could be emotional, it could be anything, it could be verbal, but a form of transferring aggression to one's spouse. It could also be from the male angle and the female angle.
So what about if it's done outside home? Because you said it's a home. So if it's done in the car, okay, let me go to Elvis. So if it's done in the car or it's done outside the house, so are we still going to call it domestic violence?
I think we should probably call it public violence. No, but generally, I mean, anything that would warrant you to lay your hands on a man or lay your hands on a woman, either physically, emotionally, psychologically, either ways, is still domestic violence. Yeah.
So the question that's going through, I'm sure a lot of people will want to have an answer to the question is, why do the domestic violence victims, why don't they leave? Why do they remain?
I think I should speak for the female angle. In this part of the world, we see or respect marriage so much that we feel if a woman is not married, it's a taboo or it's something wrong. So I feel most women feel like, oh, if I step out of this marriage, the stigma, what will people say about me, my family and all that. So they tend to forget the damages it causes. I've seen cases where people die and the kids are left to fend for themselves. So they don't look at the consequences, they just more like look at what people will say if I speak up. Will he still love me? Will he do this? It's just based on sentiments, what people think. That's what I believe.
And then, in addition to that, I also believe that a lot of people don't leave abusive relationships because of fear. Fear is, I think fear is like a primary reason, because some of these abusers have the tendencies of going extreme. They can kill you.
Sure.
They can threaten you, and in most cases, they make you not have proper relationship with people on the outside. They They make you stay away from friends, family. So at the end of the day, you almost have like no one to turn to. So at the end of the day, you end up coming back to the same situation.
When someone is abused, that's domestic. When this thing happens, that's domestic. The victims, do you think they have changed? They change their attitude towards life and people, because they start hiding to a whole lot of things. They start having hidden secrets. Do you think their attitude change towards life or towards people?
It's a trauma. It's a trauma, and trauma is not something you overcome in a hurry. I mean, in fact, at the end of the day, even if you're able to overcome that particular relationship and then you get into another, you still have that fear. That what if? In fact, even when the man brings his hand to hug you, you will think that he's probably raising his hand to hit you. That trauma will always be there. And sometimes, I mean, anything that affects a human psychologically is as good as ruining your life already.
But I just want you guys to. I want to bring up a story, and I want to see you guys how you guys react to it. Okay, you have a woman and a man, and they're dating, and this guy saw this lady through school, paid for even her family, her sisters, her brothers, built a house for them. But there's this attitude he has. He's abusive. He's good at. She's a victim. He beats her. He does everything they call abuse.
Where are you seeing
So no. So if you, what will you say? Okay, let me say you are the woman and you are the man. So let's see the reaction. Like,
I'm going to speak from experience.
Okay.
I once dated a guy. I can tell you he's one man made in heaven with other qualities. He loved me. He could lick my feet. He could do anything. But he has temper issues. I broke up with him because he raised his hand on me. I don't see any reason why I would be there. Because you love me, you give me money, you give me everything I want, care, affection. Okay, you love me, you give me affection, why are you beating me up? So when you talk about things you've done for my family, it does not reciprocate your beating. You're abusing me, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. You can give me heaven and kill me. So where do I enjoy the heaven in the grave? Now I want to understand. So it's because really not.
Some of those people used to say, "No, it's love. This is the way I can." No, if you some stories that we hear.
Yeah, truly, a lot of people feel that. There's a post I saw on the gram some time ago. This particular girl was saying something like, I love it when my boyfriend beats me. My boyfriend is supposed to beat me. It's supposed to be like a form of correction. I don't know. Why would an adult, sorry. So some people have actually normalized that fact. Some people see it as a norm that their boyfriend or their husband should beat them. That is a form of correction and stuff. And I don't know where that mentality came from, but
some people,
it's crazy. And a situation whereby a man sees you through school, builds you a house, takes care of your family, and then he's beating you. I think in this case now is the woman's fault. Because in everything we do in life, we have a choice. A lot of ladies also tend to stay in abusive relationships or marriages because they don't have something of their own. And that is why we tell women these days, see, it's the sole responsibility of a man to take care of the home, pay the bills and all, but please, a woman, get you something doing. Like when you're going on a date, there's this thing they call vex money. So that if something happens, you leave the person, they request your Uber and go home. But in a situation whereby you're depending on this person, like this person is your all and all, you don't have a fat into your name, you don't have any business, you don't have any job, you feel like even with the beating, if you leave this man, your life is ruined.
Yes.
I think we need to do better than that.
Yes.
And then as a man, I don't think for any reason, because you're training somebody or you're paying somebody's bills, you should lay your hands on. I'll tell you, forget about this particular interview. If anybody lays a hand on my sister, if you survive the hospital, it's the grace of God.
But at times it's not you. Sometimes you find out that these victims, I don't know if it's a curse, when they are being domestic abused or something, you come to them, they tell you, I'm done, I'm this. They tell you everything they've been going through, even the ones that you didn't know that has happened so many years. And you become the devil.
Okay,
They come back to make up.
From the female angle, I noticed a lot of us, we women, we are gullible. We are moved by what we hear, what they tell us. Now, what happens is this. You've made up your mind. You're not happy somebody is beating you. You're not happy you find yourself in the hospital, being hospitalized because you're with somebody who you think you love. But the thing is, they go back home and the guy comes to come and sugarcoat them. And they open their stupid ear to listen. I'm sorry to use the word stupid because it's annoying. You know why? When topics like this comes up, it angers me because it reminds me of a relation who died. She was 8 months pregnant and her husband beat her. She went to coma and died.
Wow.
And she has 8 children.
She was 8 months pregnant.
For the 9th one.
Ah.
And those kids are in the village wallowing.
Wow.
So the point is, we just listen to things that doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, it's the devil. I love you. I'm jealous when I see you talk. Hello, can you shut your ears to nonsense? And like he said, some of them are very, very, very less. I don't know the right word to qualify them with. I don't see why a woman should sit at home. You don't have anything doing. You don't have a saving. You don't have anything. Some of them are so dependent on their men, so they can't leave.
I'm going to say something about that because at times it is not that the woman does not have a job. So I remember a story where a woman, she has a job and everything, and this guy is always on her case. He's like maybe someone that they employ to be her CCTV. It follows her around, and even at her job, he shows up when he's not supposed to. Unexpected. He beats her up for no reason.
Yeah,
she's chatting and she's smiling. Oh,
insecurity issues.
No, I think in a way, yeah, we're human, and love is one thing that can make you do the undoable. I don't want to share my experience, but if I tell you the things I've done for love, you'll be shocked. I mean, when you're truly in love with somebody, it takes a whole lot of courage for you to walk out of a domestic abuse. It takes a whole lot of courage. Let's forget about, yes, when they beat you up, you should be able to walk out and all. It's usually not that easy.
True.
You know, especially when you truly, truly love
the other person.
It's difficult. And a lot of men and women are manipulative. They beat you up and then the next minute they come back, they buy you gifts, they do this, they promise you heaven and earth, they apologize. You see some of them even kneeling and crying that they will never do this again. And then because of that love and a forgiving spirit that you have, you forgive them, and then a few days later the same thing is happening again. And then he will come back with the same. So it takes somebody it takes a lot of courage to walk away. It's not easy, especially when you're truly in love with that person.
So I want to ask, is it only a woman that gets abused?
No.
Or both ways?
No.
Because the one who hear more is the woman. It's like for the victims is 90% women and 10% men.
I think why
the men silent.
I think why it's that way is it's more common to the women folks from this part of the world. Yes, we all know it's more common to the women folks. It's very, very difficult for you to see a typical African woman raise her hand on her husband. Because if you even try, the whole community will come and kill you. But your husband will beat you, they'll tell you endure his marriage.
So do you agree
yes, now they'll tell you to pray for him. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's more on the ladies. Apart from what she just said, physical strength as well, you have to put that into consideration.
Yes.
Are you sure the men are not shy to come out and say I was abused by my wife?
Some are.
The truth of the matter is this. Obviously, yes, a lot of men go through abuse as well in their marriages, relationships and all, but, you know, the society has made men to believe that whatever happens to you,
you absorb
lock
it.
up. You're a man. That term, or I don't know if I should call it phrase, be a man, has already sent a lot of people to their grave. You know, you're depressed, you can't talk because you're scared of what the society will say. My friend, be a man, man up and all, you know. So because of that reason, I mean, if a man comes out now to say, oh, my wife beat me, the first thing they'll even start laughing at you. So why would you, where is the courage for you to even now come out and speak about it? It happens, but it is usually more on the female gender.
So are we going to blame the parents of those men that they didn't help them to grow up being a man, as in they didn't give them that good training or say, okay, you have to speak out, or even the women, because I think it comes from you growing up as a child.
Yeah, I think
the training you get first.
I think our parents need to do better, especially in training men. They need to train them better because sometimes the environment you grow up affects the way you live and the way you behave. All right? If you grow up in an environment, because I have a friend that the father beats the mom, and then they are seeing it as a norm. It's something they grew up with, right from when they were born. This is something that the dad has been doing, and the mom is still there. She just collects the beating, absorbs it, and then my husband, I don't want to lose my marriage and stuff, and then this same thing keeps happening. And the thing is affecting the kids. And then when they grow up, they now think it's a normal thing for them to lay their hands on a woman because their dad used to do it. So that is why it is very important for you to get married to somebody that you truly love. Both of you understand each other and you're able to communicate about problems without necessarily having to raise your voices or, result into physical
abuse.
So if you're able to, a child that grows up in a family knowing that, oh, my mom lost my dad and my dad lost my mom, and they have never laid their hands on each other for any reason. In fact, even when they are having issues, they still bring their voices down. They still try to resolve issues like mature people. I think when they grow up, they will apply the same philosophy.
Let me quickly add something to what you just said now.
We're going to go on a break right now because I know we have a lot to say on this topic, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
You're still on People's Voice.
Oh boy, winning you was so easy.
I just couldn't stand those your powerful shots. That's what happened.
Really? Let's go to my place for dinner.
This fufu is so nice.
It's true unripe plantain flour.
True unripe plantain flour is delicious.
Yes, true unripe plantain flour is what I serve my husband for swallows. It's easy to prepare, fortified with vitamin A, low in sugar and cholesterol, rich in fiber that helps the heart, builds and strengthens the bone, and his energy level is boosted.
True unripe plantain flour, no additives, 100% natural, a product of Pali Agro Products Nigeria. True unripe plantain flour, available in all leading stores nationwide.
Welcome back to People's Voice, and you're still on the discussion, domestic violence, and I have my people. They are here. They're blowing out their thoughts and their minds on. You were saying something before we went on.
Yes, I wanted to add to what he said. Despite the fact that this topic is not really treated well or not, people are not speaking out, I think parents should do something. Either you, as a husband, you're being abused, or as a woman, you're being abused. Try not to allow your children grow in that part. What I mean is this. You're being abused, you don't like it. Make sure you talk to your children, make them see what daddy or mommy is doing is wrong. Do not hate them for it, but please do not pick this up. But some parents just, okay, for instance, someone will like, your father beats me, you see your father. No, they can't fight for you. Protect them. If possible, keep it away from your kids. They pick things. They magnet it. They see it as a norm. As a woman, your husband abuses you. You cry in front of your daughter. She grows up. Oh, if my husband beats me, my daddy used to beat my mommy too. What will I do? It's normal. Then as a boy, are you the first they will beat? My father used to beat my mom. Or my mom used to beat my dad. No. Make them see this is wrong. Even though I can't help it, but please do not pick this. Talk to them. They listen. They understand. Communication comes in. Don't just let it pass.
That's a great one. So I wanted to say something like, how do you spot an abuser? Is it written? Do they have this particular mask on or written?
Funny enough, these people are actually the calmest of humans. It's almost like people that are depressed. You see a very depressed person, and then you see that person almost like the happiest person on the planet. And then the next minute you hear that this person has committed suicide, and you're like, it's not the same person that was just dancing a few hours ago. You see abusers, I mean, from experience and from things that I've seen, they are usually the most calm people, very, very calculative and very manipulative. In fact, they already know their next move. So it is not written on the forehead. It just takes the grace of God for you to find the right partner.
You know, before we started, we mentioned different types of domestic abuse. We have violence, we have the physical one, the emotional one, and we also have the mental. We have the traditional one. I'm more like traditional, and we have so on and so forth of stages of different kinds of domestic violence. So for the physical one is when it comes, everybody knows
involves the fist.
We use the fists and the belt and all that. Then for the one that has to do with the mind.
I think the one of the mind is even the worst. You know, your partner offends you and then you can't talk about it. Because I for one believe that communication is key in relationship or marriage. I mean, if both of you are having a misunderstanding, I think you should be able to address it. I think you should be able to call your wife and say, babe, this thing you did the other day, I don't like it. Instead of blanking out on that person.
Oh, what about there are different kind of communication, right?
Yeah.
You said communication is the key. What about the communication of you're this?
That's
verbal abuse. That's verbal abuse.
No.
That's verbal abuse.
Because did you talk to her? Yes, I did.
No, you can't.
That's not communication. That's another form of abuse.
That's not communication at all. That's in nowhere near communication.
At all.
I spoke to a man. I was like, yes, I did. I spoke to her last night.
That's another form of abuse. He's still abusing the other person. That's not communication.
It's not communication. When you want to communicate as an adult, as a learned person, you sit down and you talk. You look for ways to, both of you should, I mean, if I am saying it is A and she is saying it is C, both of us should be able to arrive at B.
Okay.
We should be able to meet halfway. I mean, there should be a compromise. That's why it's a relationship.
That's why it's called communication too.
So, when do you think one can break the silence? When will you look
The first day.
Let me talk about this one. You see, there is no time you should even keep it.
That's what I'm saying.
Talk about it as it's happening. I'm not saying fight about it. Yeah, okay, let me give a scenario. Perhaps we're dating and you tell me you're mad, God punish you. I won't reply you. When you're done, I'll be like, uncle, you just insulted me. I didn't like it. There's no point keeping it till tomorrow. Because when you keep it till tomorrow, it builds up. Then he abused you verbally. You might be the one to abuse him with your fists. So talk about it. As it's happening, talk about it. Yeah, the only thing I would suggest is don't talk about it while you are both fuming. No. Yes. Look for a time, okay, I think it's calm. Talk about it, but don't keep it for any reason. Don't. And if you realize things are not changing, bail out.
So what's your advice to victims, people that get abused?
Speak up. Speak up. I mean, yeah, love might be in the picture, but you can't die all in the name of love. I mean, to surprise you that a week after your death or something, this person is already moving on with the next person. You know, it's not worth it. So if this thing happens the very first time, it should be a red light. A lot of people believe that things that happen in relationship, when it gets to marriage, it will get better. Whatever you endure in relationship will get times 10 in marriage. Because this time around now, you guys have made it official. You're married. You're living under the same roof, and it feels like divorce is not one of those things that will just easily come to mind because of what society will say or anything. So yes, people even change in marriage. I mean, somebody that is not beating you in relationship might even end up beating you in marriage. So these things are not predictable, but I think you should speak up. We have agencies in Nigeria now that take this thing seriously, and agencies all over the world that take issues like this seriously. I mean, you go there, you report your case, and then they'll take it off from there. It's not something to keep quiet about.
Yeah, I will still agree with him. Get proper counsel. And another thing I would say is when you're seeking counsel, mind where you seek your counsel from.
True.
Go to a professional. I didn't say you should go talk to your friend, talk to your father, your mother. No.
Because some of them might not even be in support of
professional help.
True.
Seek professional help. Don't ever be quiet about it.
So you guys have had it all, and I'm going to end it with this. Like, there was this person that was in a relationship, and the guy said, when 6 years of beating and abusing and all that, and when he finally found that person, he said, "That's my wife, I'm done with you." And she got frustrated, she got depressed, and she said she was going to kill herself. And there was something he said to her. He said, "If you kill yourself, I'm going to come for your burial, and on your grave, I will spit and pee on it."
Wow.
I think that's enough. That's enough advice for victims out there that get abused by their partner, be it a woman or a man. It is not worth dying for. So that's a wrap for you guys on People's Voice. And don't forget to follow and subscribe. Comment, keep commenting on People's Voice on iBrandTV. And don't forget, every 9 a.m. we have iBrand Daybreak. Be there to watch all our presenters doing what they know how to do best on politics, entertainment, sports. They're good at it. So till I come here again and again on People's Voice, another episode. Be good and continue to love yourself.